Thanks for joining us. Happy Monday. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Drew Carney. Katie LaSalle on board with us here as well, talking about that Monday forecast. First full day of summer, Katie.
Happy summer, you guys. Yes, good Monday morning to you. We are waking up to mostly clear skies, but we do have storm chances in the forecast this afternoon. It is dry, though, as you can see, hazy conditions. Some wildfire smoke impacting portions of the Front Range once again for today and in the mountains. Your weather headlines: warm, upper 80s to near 90. First full day of summertime. Thunderstorms will be with us starting at about 1 o'clock, developing over higher terrain spreading east across the plains. The severe weather risk particularly impacting out east, but fire danger, something we'll be discussing as well, into the mountains and a big portion of the western part of the state. High winds, low humidity. So this morning it's calm. Mid-50s out of the airport, around 60 degrees in our backyard, pretty comfortable, and just a 30% chance for the metro area of seeing a few of those thunderstorms pop up. Out into the mountains, it's a beautiful start to the morning, crystal clear skies out near Winter Park. If you're hiking, though, may find some areas of smoke and haze further west of the divide by 12 o'clock, around 70 degrees. Gusty winds and isolated storm chance here or there, but out east this morning, this is a live look near Burlington, areas of fog, higher humidity, Akron through Burlington up through Holyoke, reduced visibility, and we have a severe weather risk. Areas shaded here in yellow under that slight risk of large hail would be a main threat. 2.5-inch diameter and isolated tornado possibilities. Now, as summer officially gets going, and we talk more about these thunderstorm chances each afternoon, 90s Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles is explaining more why we really see this risk impacting portions of the plains out east as opposed to other parts of the state. Good morning, Jaden.
Well, good morning, Katie. Yeah, that's the unique thing about Colorado. Typically storms can form anywhere in the summer times, but a lot of times the severe storms and the stronger storms usually form over towards the eastern plains. Now, the reason for that is because of the location, mainly talking between the mountains and the plains. But if you go ahead and take a look at your screen, as the summer sun heats the ground, warm air begins to rise. Now, that rising air helps thunderstorms develop over the Front Range and nearby mountains during the afternoon. But many of those storms don't reach their full strength until they move east. That's because the eastern plains typically have warmer temperatures, more moisture, and fewer terrain obstacles. Now, think of the mountains as a spark. Storms often get their start there, but once they move onto the open plains, they have access to more fuel. Now, that fuel can help storms grow taller and stronger, producing large hail, damaging winds, and occasionally tornadoes. It's the same setup that brought severe weather to parts of eastern Colorado over this past weekend, and it's a pattern we'll continue to watch as we move deeper into the summer. So while Denver could see a couple of storms this afternoon, just because of the ingredients and the geography of just where the eastern plains is, typically we'll see the strongest storms over towards the eastern plains. Live in the backyard, Jaden Knowles for 9 News. And Brianna, how are those roadways doing so far?
Yeah, right now, thank you so much for your reporting. Taking a live look from two of our CDOT cameras. We do have two crashes that we are tracking for anyone taking I-25. Right near the construction zone up in Meade, Berthoud area. So looks like CDOT just moved the cameras while Jaden was talking, but we are seeing some delays for anyone taking northbound I-25. And then we were also tracking another crash for anyone taking westbound E-470 to northbound I-25. Again, CDOT just switched the cameras while Jaden was talking, so I don't have good views of these crashes, but they are happening because they just came into our traffic impact center. So I want to switch things over to our main maps and talk about other crashes that are happening in the metro area. There's one that's slowing things down along southbound Tower Road for anyone approaching Pena Boulevard. So please keep this in mind if you're heading to DIA or have to take Pena Boulevard. Downtown to the tech center, taking I-25 this morning, only an 11 to 12 minute drive.
All right, thank you, Brianna. Later this morning, Denver's Office of Emergency Management is holding a public meeting after tornado sirens were activated inadvertently across the city earlier this month. When it happened, someone called 911 to report a tornado, and that report made its way to a team of 5 people who were on shift with Denver Fire. Now, that team has access to the city's siren activation system, and someone on the team triggered the sirens even though there was not a confirmed tornado or even a tornado warning. The Office of Emergency Management said today's meeting is to fill the public in on how the city of Denver prepares for emergencies. That virtual meeting starts at 10 a.m. You can register online to get the link.
In less than 8 hours, the man accused of a road rage shooting last November in Jefferson County is set to appear in court. Deputies arrested Matthew Impellitteri for firing a gun into another car on Highway 285 just south of Morrison. The gunshot hit 38-year-old Cassie Moy in the head. She was a passenger in the car. Moy did survive. Court documents reveal that Impellitteri got angry while driving and fired at least 2 times at the car Moy was in. He is facing attempted murder charges. He is set to appear in court for an arraignment today at 2 p.m.
A driver faces several charges after crashing into a house in Commerce City. Commerce City police posted these photos right here showing the damage from the crash near East 54th Avenue and Sand Creek Drive. They say that driver was going down I-70, hit 3 cars, then drove off the interstate and into this house. The driver was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. They also face several charges, including DUI. No one else was injured.
A crash on I-70 has left a historic Colorado sign in pieces. Lower Valley Fire District responded to the crash on I-70 just west of the Colorado-Utah border Saturday evening. Fire officials say the driver was in a van pulling a cargo trailer when it blew a tire on the highway. That caused the driver to lose control and go off the road, crashing into the Leaving Colorado sign. No serious injuries were reported.
A now infamous Aurora apartment complex is under new ownership. Records show the East Colfax Community Collective has purchased the Edge at Lowry, paying $4.5 million. Back in 2024, video of armed gang members going door to door in the complex went viral. The owners of the complex claimed a notorious gang had taken over, preventing them from performing maintenance. President Trump repeated the claim on his campaign trail. City leaders, though, pushed back against those claims, but the city also went to court to declare most of the complex a criminal nuisance and ultimately closed it down. Local officials then helped relocate dozens of displaced residents.
A building that was once home to a historic bar in Denver could soon be demolished. The building at 2060 Champa Street was built in 1890 and hosted many celebrities over the years. It was home to Bar. The bar shut down back in 2024 due to a fire. Last June, one of the walls collapsed. A demolition company filed for authorization to demolish the building completely this week. The city of Denver is reviewing the request now.
Denver's hot housing market has been cooling off over the last few years, and now a report from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors shows that new listings were down last month. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj joins us live here with more on this. Shalima, this is just the 3rd time that this has happened in the past 8 years.
That's right, Drew. I mean, when you think about it, a lot of us grew up with the whole idea that pursuing home ownership, that was the thing. But right now, it seems like motivation is really the issue here. Now, May and June, typically very busy months when it comes to this industry, but we are seeing a little bit of a change. And a lot of that has been happening since the pandemic. Like so many things, we've seen changes ushered in as a result of COVID-19. And so analysis from the Denver Metro Association of Realtors found that while inventory climbed by just over 30% in the past 2 years, it's motivation from buyers that's been on the sluggish side earlier on in the year. Now, Realtor.com reported Denver's median listing price dropped by about 7.8% year over year to just under $540,000. Tyler and Marie Sullivan, they are 2 people moving from out of state. They're looking to buy a home in the Denver area, and they have had a lot to weigh in this process.
But no, we're hopeful that maybe some people will be sort of like second wave now that summer's hit, that they'll decide to go ahead and list their house. And hopefully it's one that's just right for us.
Yes, normally we see a almost over 9% increase in active listings, and this year we didn't.
Now, in the next few months, Andrew Abrams, who you just heard from there, expects to see new home listings and prices remain sluggish. He says that Denver's housing market appears to be settling into its post-COVID new norm at this stage. Reporting live, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Shalima, thank you. It is 6:08, and it's a very pretty start to the morning across the Denver metro area, up north into Fort Collins. Mostly clear skies. The sun is rising. Winds relatively calm right now. Some areas of fog, and also quite dense fog from Burlington north and east, where we will be seeing storm chances increasing later on today. But it is mild and clear in the mountains this morning. We're in the 40s in Steamboat to Kremling, upper 50s in downtown Denver. Daytime highs set to reach the upper 80s, nearing 90. We'll hit that right around 5 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies, low 90s in Greeley, and then over eastern Colorado from Lyman, and then a line of storms will be potentially capable of producing some severe warned weather. But for the Denver metro area today, just a slight risk, that is, of seeing a storm or two. Most of the activity will be over the eastern plains. I'll break down Futurecast coming up for you after the break, where we are expecting to see some of that wet weather for today.